Good evening, everyone. My name is Audrey. I am the PR specialist here at OXO Companies. I would like to extend my appreciation on behalf of OXO Companies to everyone for coming to our virtual town hall to learn more about the proposed project, the OX Fairfax. So we actually had an in-person meeting back in last October, and to offer inclusivity and flexibility, we decided to proceed in an online format. So this ensures people with busy schedules or physical restrictions to join us from anywhere. Your opinion matters to us and we want you to be heard. During this session, our speakers are going to talk about this exciting project that is going to activate Old Town Fairfax. So we are going to start with a 30-minute presentation, and then we have a Q&A session afterwards. So please hold your comments and questions, and we will let you know when it's time to drop your questions in the comment section. We would love to answer your questions, and we will answer them as much as possible. So please allow me to introduce our speakers today. So here we have Chris Smith, Managing Principal of OXO Companies. And with us, we also have our Vice President, Joe Gonzalez, Vice President of Construction. We also have our very talented design team, Kathleen Warren, our interior designer, and our architect, Sibel Oskan. All right, thank you all for being here with us today. Chris, I am going to hand the next slide to you. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about who we are and the OX Fairfax?
Thank you, Audrey. And I want to thank everyone for attending. We're hoping that this online town hall will allow us to get to more people to talk about the great project that we're working on here in the city of Fairfax. Who are we? We are a local real estate development company here in the city of Fairfax, and we are focused on arts and entertainment, retail with food and beverage, lots of restaurants, hospitality, and really great places to live in amongst the community that we're helping to create. We are also focused on creating sustainable environments, green buildings, something that hasn't historically been done in the city of Fairfax. So what are we doing? We're talking tonight about the OX Fairfax. This is a project that we've planned right in the center of Old Town, and it is to be distinguished from another project that often gets confused with this, which is called City Center West project that was approved last year by the City Council and is located on Main Street. This project is located on University Drive, Chainbridge Road, and Sager Avenue, and it'll be bounded by a new South Street extension that would effectively turn the OX into its own city block. The building that we're proposing to build on the site would be again bounded by these four streets in a very prominent, important part of the city. The idea was to build something here that activates this location and provides the city what it's looking for in the small area plan that was adopted over 4 years ago for this area. The location is ideal for what we're talking about in the sense that it is located right outside the 4 blocks that comprise the most of the old buildings. We're putting it on a site that currently does not have the old buildings except for one historic building that we're maintaining. The north, south, east, and west streets that was created by the city creates a small beltway, if you will, around the old town. And so by building this project, we're participating in helping create that environment by providing a method for South Street to cut through and connect this mini beltway all around the old town. So the property is located, as I said before, on Chainbridge and University and Sager. But as you can see from this slide, the city already has a significant amount of cars that cut through the city on a regular basis. One of our goals, and one of the goals of activating the Old Town, is to attract people to come to the Old Town and actually stay in the Old Town and participate in a really vibrant community that is here and can be here. But it also shows that these roads can handle an awful lot of traffic historically, and have. The project is located across from the Fairfax Judicial Center, which in itself is going to be having its own redevelopment going on fairly soon. The project is located on the Q bus system, Metro bus system, Fairfax Connector, and we will be having shuttles to Metro from the location as well. But as you can see, it's well connected to the different public transportation routes that already cut through the city. The project will also have parking on site. We are building over 500 parking spaces in the building itself to accommodate both the music venue as well as the hotel that would also be on the site, as well as the restaurants. This parking graph shows the parking study that we've already had done by our third-party consultant. And what it illustrates is that what we've done here is we've developed a project that does not affect the rush hours in and out of the Old Town. So we're not bringing in traffic that would be adding to the most popular times for cars to be on those roads. The performances take place for the most part in the evenings, and most of that traffic the rush hour subsided out of the city, so it's coming in, and the traffic after the performances would leave over a period of time after the performance as well. The venue operators are looking at this, as they do with all the other venues they have throughout the world, as a place where people can arrive before the actual concert, have dinner in the city, and then or stay after the concert and take advantage of the opportunities to visit with their friends in the city as well. The project, it also has a number of parking garages that surround it that are currently underutilized, including the garage on the county judicial campus, as well as other parking garages in the city. The idea is that you don't want all the patrons of a concert to come to a garage at the concert hall. This actually disperses the traffic in a broader area and provides something that the small area plan is seeking, which is pedestrian traffic in the city. So people, instead of all arriving at one place, would arrive at numerous locations and walk through the city, patronizing the existing retailers and restaurants on their way to the venue and on their way back. So the Ox Fairfax, what is the actual building that we just talked about, how we get there and get from? The venue would be a 2,400 fixed seat venue. It would also include a upper upscale hotel that would be customized for the project. In the hotel itself, it includes a 28,000 square foot conference center, which would provide a very needed facility for the city and the university and the surrounding areas in Fairfax, and bring companies and celebrations and events into the city that currently would like to be here in the Old Town but aren't accommodated anywhere. In addition to all that, one section of the building is really dedicated to community arts groups. We've been working with the community arts groups in and around Fairfax City for many years, and understand that they don't have much space to work with. Their opportunities at GMU's facilities are very limited due to the amount of student performances, and their opportunities throughout this area are very limited. A lot of concert goers that go to DC for concerts are going to be able to go to the same concerts here in Fairfax. The 100 plus seat Black Box Theater is a flex theater that is going to be built with this, that would again provide a really good opportunity for smaller performances, particularly with the community arts groups here in the city. In addition to that, we're building what we call the Green Gallery and Cafe, which would face the old courthouse on Cambridge Road. This would be a focal point for native species and a cafe to allow for events and parties and after performance parties in the gallery itself. The old bank building on the corner of Sager and Cambridge Road is going to be preserved, and incorporated into the building. We'll talk more about that as we go here, but that would become an art gallery open to the public as well. In addition to all those things, we're also building within this building, this project, 5 additional restaurants that would be a variety of types of restaurants and accommodating a variety of spending and appetites. In addition to that, there'll be additional retail space in the venue as well that would be accessible to the public. One other item I want to mention is that inside the hotel, running from the corner of Sager and University, would be an arcade that we've designed that would also come out toward the entrance of the concert hall. So that would be a pedestrian method to walk through the building, through the shopping area, to get to the extended South Street. So with that, we want to get more into the detail of what we're doing here. So I've got some great people here ready to speak about that. And first up is Joe Gonzalez, our Vice President of Construction, who's going to talk a little bit more about the project.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that intro. Popular question we've been asked throughout this process is how are we going to bring energy into this development while still paying tribute to the history in the area which is being built. So what we've done is developed a somewhat federalist design that provides a nod to the history of the area. The design of the building fits the neighborhood it's being built in. And our goal is not just to drop some abstract design into this neighborhood that didn't fit, that didn't blend into the neighborhood. Like Chris mentioned, speaking of history, at the corner of Chain Bridge and Sager is a historic National Bank building. The thoughtful design that we had put together absorbed this building into the development. It'll be creating that art gallery in this space. And also, as mentioned, adjacent to that space is that green gallery that's showcasing a wide variety of different plantings in a botanical garden type setting. Another question that was asked is the overall size of the building, the view that it's going to create, the view that it's going to be seen from as well. And so, as far as the building fitting into the neighborhood, it's not just the size, but the height. You'll see that it fits right in. The hotel will be 7 stories tall, while the entertainment venue will be 5 stories. And so with that, on the surrounding neighborhood, you'll see with the buildings that are surrounding, we have multiple different 5- and 6-story buildings in the neighborhood. So, it's not going to be some robust structure that doesn't fit in. Our goal was, very sensitive to the historic area. We're trying to make it fit into the area. But, as far as architecture goes, what we're going to do is turn this over to Sibel, who's our in-house architect, and she's going to talk more about the architecture of the development.
Hello, this is Sibel, and I will be talking about what the building will look like. Well, this is my favorite subject because this is a beautiful 4-sided building design, and it is matching. Each one has its own character, but matching its intended use. On the left, you see the existing bank, and from there, we're gradually going through different characteristics and different architectural timelines, and ending the corner with an Art Deco building. We have a variety of different roof lines, and the sight line has been carefully studied so that we will not have a big block of site that is overwhelming the characteristic of the street that it is in. When we move to the South Street extension, if you go to the other slide, you will see that the use of the buildings are changing with the characteristics of each use. So the corner is still a retail building. Then we will have a concert hall with its own colors, with its own materials. And eventually we are reaching to the hotel use. As you see, the first floor has always been used as a city wall. Right now, in the existing site, we have a big monolithic brick buildings floating on the middle of a asphalt parking garage. Here we are creating city walls with 10 feet wide, pedestrian areas, walkways, beautifully landscaped, and this will enhance the pedestrian experience greatly. Each building will have its own pedestrian access, and this will be a space that you can come walking from a variety of different parking spots and enjoy the buildings and the uses, and you can go through the entire city, not only this block. However, it will enhance the fabric of Old Town by creating a city wall with beautiful pedestrian areas. University Drive is the next side of the block. This is where the hotel is. At the right-hand corner, you're going to see the pedestrian gallery. This is very beautiful shortcut to the Sager Avenue. And it's a four-season walking route through the building where you will have restaurants, retail areas, and a green gallery and an art studio at the art gallery at the end of it. So again, it has its own characteristics because this is a hotel building now, and we have different setbacks. As you can see, the building is raising up. However, our carefully made sideline study makes sure that you don't see the whole mass. Your eye line first hits the first floor trim, and then the fifth floor, and then gradually the other higher areas are not visible to the sideline studies. So the next one will be the Sager Avenue. Here, the corner is wrapped. You see the pedestrian walkway that is a shortcut through the building, and it gradually binds to the old bank building at the corner, which will be used as an art gallery. The different brick styles and different brick colors, and how building gradually meets to the scale of Chain Bridge Road is very visible here as you go through from one use to another. The architectural style will catch up with the characteristic of the coming intersection. I truly believe this will be a big enhancement to the city fabric. We are creating city walls, and we are creating areas that will be enjoyed by the pedestrians with the different styles, different uses. There will be so many different entries. So it's not a big block that you enter and disperse from there. There will be different uses for different interests. From here, I want to invite Kathleen. She will be talking about the sustainability effort and community benefits. It's yours, Kathleen.
Thank you so much, Sibel. So I wanted to take a few moments to discuss Ox Hill's ongoing commitment to sustainable design as well as historic preservation. So I'll start with the historic bank building, which some may be familiar with its original use, which was the National Bank of Fairfax. Currently, this property is at the intersection of Chain Bridge Road and Sager Avenue, and it is sitting vacant. So one of our goals here at Ox Hill is to identify underutilized properties within the city of Fairfax. And with our proposed redevelopment of the bank building into an art gallery, we will be able to demonstrate the opportunities here in Fairfax for adaptive reuse of existing structures. So some of the perks of this, it allows us to offset our carbon footprint, as well as reduce construction waste going into landfills. So this portion of the project is going to allow us to blend elements of sustainable design, sustainable design practices, as well as modern design updates to create an opportunity to showcase the existing incredible artistic community of Fairfax in a repurposed space. So, going a little bit more into the nature of a historic preservation project, We have proposed a green gallery, which would be directly adjacent to the existing bank building, which would allow for total ADA accessibility into the art gallery without having to compromise the historic structure and fabric of the existing bank building. Our plans for the art gallery will feature a very open plan with a lot of generous circulation space, a lot of wall surface area for art to be displayed, and the ability to host events in partnership with the arts community in Fairfax. So looking through some precedent imagery for the Green Gallery, in addition to our schematic renderings that we currently have developed, we are looking to create a space that is 2 floors with generous amounts of green walls. It will house a cafe with cafe seating. And then, as you can see, a generous portion of the program will be a double height space with a glass roof. We were really excited about this portion of the project because we are going to be creating a year-round green space for the community, as well as it will be able to serve as an educational opportunity because we are planning to include a lot of native species within the Green Gallery. So moving through the community arts program, in addition to the main concert hall, we've also proposed the Black Box Theater, which has been mentioned. And that will, between the two, they will offer a variety of configurations, which will enable this whole portion of the program to serve as a cultural hub. We do anticipate that the community of Fairfax will have the opportunity to utilize the space for everything from a prom, a fashion show, art exhibitions, and even school performances. Really, our goal is to nurture the creativity of this community while connecting people across diverse cultures and generations. So lastly, as Chris had previously mentioned, we're also going to be including a generous amount of conferencing center in the hotel, which will also incorporate both pre and post function spaces. So all of these spaces in conjunction with one another are being designed to be highly adaptable with different usages and capacities in mind. We've already been working with the local community arts groups, and we are looking to be able to cater to the wide variety of needs that they have already expressed to us at Ox Hill. So thank you, and I will turn you back over to Audrey.
Okay, it looks like we've got some Q&A time here. So I think Audrey is queuing up some of the questions that we've had come in today during this presentation. And we'll see what kind of comes scrolling up here, and we'll tackle them one at a time. Okay, first, as a busy mom of 3, thanks for holding this virtually. You're welcome. Second, I haven't heard any children's programs mentioned. Will there be anything for kids? Chris, I think you can take this one.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There'll be, in fact, part of the operators' plans are for family shows. So there'll be some pretty significant family shows that happen in the larger venue, and there'll be an awful lot of opportunities for children in the smaller venues as well. So yes, there will definitely be children's programming, as well as different opportunities for learning with the children in the gallery and the Green Gallery and the Art Gallery.
Fantastic. Thanks, Becca. All right. So from Michael Kennedy, we're excited for this project, but how will this impact public safety? The police department is severely understaffed.
Well, the good news is that this project generates a lot of new tax dollars to the city of Fairfax. that will afford the city the opportunity to hire additional police for not just for this project, but in general. We're also going to have security on site pretty much all the time, and certainly heightened security during performances, but that would be augmented by the police department.
And if you don't mind, Chris, I'm going to add to that. From my experience with some of these venues, the way this venue is going to create job opportunities is there's opportunities for other police officers from other jurisdictions who like to have, say, a second job to augment their income, that they can come over here and work at the theater and run security for the theater while the local Fairfax City can be working the outside of the venue. Thank you, Michael. All right, let's see what's up next. All right, from Joe, do you know what types of acts this will attract? Great question.
Again, I'll take a crack at it. We don't have the schedule yet from the operator. However, the plan, or the operator's plan and our plan, is for a variety of different types of primarily musical performances that would cover all genres and appeal to all the people here in Fairfax. In addition to that, the facility will also host other things like fashion shows, events, graduations, all sorts of other types of events in the project as well, or in the event, the venue as well. Sorry.
Fantastic. Thanks for asking that question, Joe. Okay, how do you plan to mitigate the traffic, noise, and parking issues for residents within 1 block of the property? These are already problematic.
Joe, I think this is right up your alley.
Yeah, so from the noise issue, from my experience with these venues, is that the venues are designed as much from the outside in as they are from the inside out. So from the inside of the theater, they're dutifully designed to keep that sound in the theater, that you don't want outside noise from buses, from people, from traffic, from the local fire station, fire truck going by, police sirens. You don't want any of that getting into the theater and disrupting your performance. And so the inside of that theater, not only acoustically designed and tuned, but that music stays in that theater. And so none of that outside noise gets in. Now, from the inside noise getting out, same way going back the other way, is that the theater is designed to keep that noise inside the theater, no matter what's going on, whether it be a wedding or a graduation with lots of cheering, or a big rock concert of any sort. That sound is designed to stay in that theater. Now, even with the hotel next door to it, so you're a block away from the property, we have people sleeping in a hotel bedroom 20 feet outside of the walls of that theater. So all the different sound installation and design that we put into the theater is to help keep that theater separated from everything else. Now, as far as traffic and parking, the parking in the city, there's a vast amount of parking throughout the city. And, with anything, there are going to be big concerts, sellout crowd. The max capacity of this place is a little over 4,000 people. Not every show is going to be a sold out show, but there are the occasional shows that will come up. There's going to be a lot of people in there. And just like we've seen, like say with Asian Festival, Fairfax City is really great at absorbing lots of people into not only the city, into the parking lots, but into the restaurants for a cocktail, for dinner, into the vast amount of parking spaces out and around the city. Our goal was to create some parking on site, but that we're looking to have people parking in the city. Patronize the local businesses on the way to the venue, because the venue is the destination, but the journey to the venue is what the city of Fairfax is going to enjoy when we have these big events, is that the city can handle this. We've seen the city handle it, and the local businesses are going to absorb all of those crowds. And so we are going through a lot of studies though right now. Not only us, but the city has hired an internal or separate third-party consultant to do the traffic studies for themselves. So we're doing a lot of traffic studies to make sure that this is a well-oiled machine when we have the big sold-out shows and lots of people want to converge on the venue. Let's see, Chris, has this been approved, or do we need to vote that we want this?
That's a great question, Chris. It has not been approved yet by the City Council. We're hoping for a City Council vote on the project in September. And yes, we need your support. If you want this project in the city, you're going to have to make yourself known, and have everyone that you know that wants the project in the city to contact the city council. There's 6 different city council members in the city, and they need to hear from you. They quite often hear from people that don't want things. So I think if you want something, it's very much in your interest to contact the city council and let them know of your position on it. Joe, before we move on, there were a couple of questions above that I'd like to try to address. From Michael, the question about parking, that there will be a parking garage under the building, as well as a parking lot on the site just to the south of the new South Street extension. As far as engaging with residents within a block of this proposal, we've done that in the past, and we're going to continue to do that as we get closer to the date where hopefully the city council will vote on this project. So we have engaged the community in the past, and we're going to be continuing to do that because it's very important to us.
Okay, so another question from Damien. What's the timeline? So beyond the approval by the city council to actually build this, we're looking at it roughly from the time that we demo the existing building to the time that we turn this space over is right around 3 years. So once we get approval and we get those designs finished up, and we get general contractors on board, and we can knock down the old building, clear the property, and get it prepped for construction, we're looking at about a 3-year timeline. From David, what is the anticipated timeline? Well, David, great question. So I'll answer it anyway, but still about 3 years from the time we get a shovel in the ground.
All right.
Any
So
other
did we answer all the questions? Looks like we have.
And so we have Audrey over there that's could
Muted.
close us out there.
Audrey, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay. So
There she
thank
is.
you for letting me know. Do we have any more questions? Feel free to drop them in the comment section. Or if you have any feedback, feel free to let us know.
Also, did we miss any questions that we should be trying to answer? I don't know if we got them all.
I believe these are all we have for now. Okay, we have more questions coming in.
Yeah, we have Joe coming in. What's the capacity? And so it's a multifaceted capacity. Maximum capacity is a little over 4,000 people. But as far as seated, I don't know if Audrey, you can go to the previous slide that kind of had the different levels between seated and maybe like, there we go. So on the floor, seated, you can get 12,000 people in there.
1,200.
Sorry, go ahead.
1,200.
Oh, 1,200. Sorry, did I say 12,000? That's a lot.
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference. 1,200 people. We're standing room only on that main floor, a little over 2,900 people. And then you can see the balcony areas, but then the different things that you can provide in here, whether it be a holiday party where you've got dinner tables or cocktail tables or a fashion show, graduations, so there's a lot of different ways you can manipulate this entertainment venue to host different types of events. So I hope this snapshot here answers that question for you.
We have a question from Becca. Yeah. Do we have restaurants in mind already? Yes, we do. And unfortunately, we can't tell you what they are at this moment, but you're going to like them. Michael asked a question, Joe, I think.
Okay. Are there renderings of what the inside would look like? So right now we're still working through, like in this entitlement phase, we've got a lot of different depictions of what the property looks like on the outside and throughout, and maybe some 2D kind of drawings at what the layout of the property would look like. But we haven't gotten to that point where we've actually rendered the inside of the venue yet.
Perhaps we can go back to the slide and Kathleen can maybe walk us through the first floor designs. There we go. And it's hard to see on here, but maybe Kathleen, would you mind walking through at least the street level, which is the one on the left?
main entrance to the concert hall, there's kind of a darker orange rectangle that you see off of what we've proposed for what would be eventually the South Street extension, but we are providing a condition where we're going to be bringing all of the traffic off of the main roads of University and Chainbridge. So there would be loading and unloading of Ubers and vehicles, drop off in that circular area that you can see to the left. So you have the main entry to the concert hall, and then the lighter orange would be the concert hall itself. Just north of that, we're planning, if you start at the upper right corner, we're looking at the existing bank building that's on the corner of Chainbridge Road and Sager Avenue. And then the green, just to the left of that, is the green gallery, the proposed green gallery for the first floor. Entrances to both of those would be pedestrian entrances, I should say, would be right off of Chainbridge Road. And then moving leftward, we have the Black Box Theater. And then off of that, we are proposing retail space. And then if you're heading to the south side of this plan, where you see the pink and the purple, that's where we're getting into the hotel program. So where that purple block is, just off of the South Street extension, that would be entry into the hotel. And the lighter pinkish kind of arched shape there, that is the arcade. So you would be able to enter from that lower southeastern corner of the plan and walk all the way through to South Street. So that would be pedestrian friendly to people that want to access the retail and the restaurants, in addition to obviously the hotel guests.
Ooh, okay, now switching over to the hotel side. So the hotel, we're going to have, I believe it's 170 keys for this hotel. And then also in the hotel convention space, I think it's 26,000 square feet of convention space in there. So it's going to be a fully upper to upscale hotel. We're still working on what that hotel is going to be and the flag it's going to fly under.
Also want to add that the hotel will have a rooftop restaurant as well that's open to the public. And it's going to have very good views of the surrounding area.
All right, this is our last call for questions. Feel free to submit more if you have any.
All right.
All right. Well, so thank you everyone for being here today. And if you have any questions or feedback, you can always reach out to us via the email down here. And for media inquiries, you can reach out to me via press@oxoco.com. We would be very happy to address any of your questions, concerns, and so on. I would like to extend our appreciation for everyone, for being here today. It's an honor to share more about the Ox Fairfax with you all, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.